attack now. For example, take North Korea. Why? North Korea is supposedly, everybody in the world agrees North Korea is the most repressive regime in the world, okay? Most repressive. There is no, even Russia believes it is so. But nobody touches North Korea because North Korea has nuclear weapons. So that is the deterrence that everybody needs. Like this previous speaker, this gentleman Setu said, everybody has a right to a nuclear weapon. Why, if Israel can have it, why shouldn't Iran? Why shouldn't Iraq? Why shouldn't Saudi Arabia or Turkey for that matter? Everybody has a right to nuclear weapons.
Either has the capability of. One, just tonight, Iran used the Fatah hypersonic for the first time. My belief, until it gets confirmed, there was a few around the nuclear facility in Israel. It's called Dimona, not direct. Most likely around. Just give them a little warning, last warning. This can go up in the sky, and what you have created is gonna be very devastating for your own citizenship. For those that think that you can have nuclear weapon and they are well protected, let me give you an example. Russia has the most out of all the countries put together. Yes, you heard me right. Put all countries around the globe put together, and still you don't have enough what Russia has. Is Russia gets hit by the Ukrainian? Yes, they get hit. Are they using against the Ukrainian? No, they don't. That's just for deterrence. That's when you attack, they will attack you back. Okay? So that doesn't mean they cannot get hit, Russians on day and night, they get hit. As a matter of fact, they give a green light from the NATO and American members, go ahead and hit as much as you want, as far as you have. Okay? So that doesn't bring, that's a clear evidence that Russians are not even safe. That's just for deterrence. So it could get very ugly for those countries they do have. What if get hit by missile from another country, in this case Israel? What if get a few of those missiles that Iran demonstrated tonight that show how vulnerable is Israel? By the way, go take a look at the news. What a devastating night was for Israelis. And I'm so sorry for those people that didn't take my advice to learn how to swim, because inside the government closed the border, airport, and now people, they have money, they're renting a boat, they run. But how many boats are over there? There's not much boats or tourist boat to rent or steal. So those people will stay over there and they will suffer, like I have said many times in this room. America and the rest of the gang Bibi will use every single of the Israeli people as a victim of this war, just like NATO and America used the Ukrainian as a victim of their own agenda against Russia. Same thing is happening. And who is paying the price? Bibi is hiding. Bibi most likely is not inside Israel, even inside. He took off most likely.
I want y'all to stop blaming. Can y'all please stop blaming the United States? Because Donald Trump already has demanded Iran's unconditional surrender. So at this point, you can't keep putting it on the United States.
The United States is absolutely involved. Wait until the F-35s will reveal and some of the special will reveal also. Don't start saying that the United States has nothing to do. Every shit has happening around the globe. United States given a green light. So don't think they're very innocent.
Gee, don't waste your breath. She's a small brain.
Who are you calling small brain? Because I'm a patriot and I'm proud to be an American citizen.
It's because your parents are related.
Because my parents are what?
listen.
Ha ha ha, that's not funny. I'm just saying right now, there's a lot going on. You need to stop blaming everybody except the people, players who are involved.
Sound like their first brother and sister, siblings.
Yeah, because you can't attack the argument, you attack the person. So who really has the small brain?
You just a
Who really has the small brain?
You just MAGA. You're not a waste. You just not the waste of the waste.
Sister, what gives you the right to tell Iran to unconditionally surrender? Who the hell
I
are
didn't
you?
say that. Donald J. Trump
Yeah, who
said
the hell is
that.
Trump? Who is he?
Because he's looking out for Iran's best interest.
Really? So he's making them surrender?
Was the United States looking at after
Does that make
Iraq's
sense?
best
How
interest?
smart are you?
Was the United States looking after Iraq's best interest? With
Yeah,
the
when they
weapons
killed
of
a
mass
million
destruction?
people.
Oh, because there was never any weapons of mass destruction. We have our intelligence that
I'm
have said
not gonna do this conspiracy theory with you.
it's not
It's
a
a
conspiracy
conspiracy
theory. Oh my God, she's dumb. I told you she's dumb. I told you her parents were related.
Yeah, parents are definitely related. Directly related.
Some people think she's the average American.
Ha ha ha.
You know, talking about people having related parents is very offensive when there's some cultures that practice that as part of their culture.
Oh my
Seems
God.
And some of those cultures are in this room, so that's very offensive.
Yeah,
Look
seems
at
like
this
your
woman.
culture.
You think Muslims? That's
Very effective.
she is so fucking backwards, bro.
Cultures. So again, that's very offensive to people. That's very offensive to
I'm sorry.
offend others in the room.
G, is your
I
parents
make-
related? Are they brother and sister?
I make my last 30-second.
Can't help that you're from West Virginia, honey.
I land in the 30-second.
Go on,
So
Jay.
brother Fayed, my last point to you. Every country, including Iran, every nation, every country around the globe that has enriching uranium facility, atomic bomb enriching uranium facility, is vulnerable to get hit and gets out of and it becomes devastating for their own citizen. So as much as you can have a bomb or any technology, and at the same time, it's a very dangerous if get hit by missile or some other heavier stuff. It can leak and create a devastation. So Israel is included. So if they want to get want to go forward, Israel is going to be target number one. What other countries has? They want to get the next one target, so be it. They're going to be. Same thing, Russian had that fear with Ukraine.
Yeah,
They were about to
Finland
get
and
hit. And
Switzerland.
yes,
And NATO,
those are very, exact. They are very vulnerable sites. And
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think we all can see that. I think we all can see that Israel is definitely trying to take land. Take land. They really are. Next, it's going to be Egypt. Next, it's going to be Saudi Arabia.
No, Israel.
You love these conspiracies.
No, Israel will not rest. You see, I mentioned this earlier. Just a week ago, they had a conference in Israel. The cabinet ministers participated in just before the Israel started attacked Iran. I think 2 days before that, probably on the 11th or 12th of this month. They had a conference in Israel. It was allowed. Media was allowed, so it was reported widely, in which all the ministers from Netanyahu's cabinet participated, and some of the American senators and other AIPAC poodles participated in that, and they moved a resolution in that meeting, in that conference, saying that West Bank and Gaza should be annexed immediately. So that was the first point. And the second point was made by their heritage minister Eliyahu. He said that at the same time, we should, as soon as we annex Gaza and West Bank, our next target should be to annex the entirety of Lebanon and Syria, because Lebanon and Syria, parts of Lebanon and parts of Syria are part of the Holy Land or the Eretz Israel. Therefore, we will have to immediately move a resolution to annex Lebanon and Syria. And if you study the report, there's a guy called Avi Lapkin, Evilapkin. Avi Lapkin is a American Israeli citizen. He also has a small extremist party. He runs a political party in Israel. Okay, he has never won an election, but he is very influential with the Zionist Christians who support the expansion of Israel in the United States. Okay, he has a report. He has published a report in which he says that as per Genesis 15, I have to admit here that I don't know what Genesis 15 says. I'm just saying what he said. As per Genesis 15, in the present day's geography, a part of Medina in Saudi Arabia should also be part of the Eretz Israel. Therefore, we should not rest until all the 7 places which are in 7 countries right now, besides Palestine, should have to be taken over in order for the Messiah to come to the world, the Messiah to return. Okay, and he says Medina is part of that, and he quotes Genesis 15. And like I said, I don't know that much about what Genesis 15 says. So they are not going to stop until the so-called Eretz Israel is created. So that means we are looking at instability in the Middle East for the next 50 years or maybe even 100 years. Our children and their children and probably even their children, our great-great-great-grandchildren will also be facing the same kind of turmoil that we are facing today. So that is why I say that Israel as a state, as it exists today, the Zionist state needs to be dismantled immediately by whatever means, however it is to be done. That's the only way for the rest of the world to live in peace. Or else Israel has to change its, declare openly, clearly state that we are not going to expand, return all the lands that they have already stolen from Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and so on, and stick to the lands and free Palestine and stick to the lands that were given to it in UN Resolution 1948, that is 181, UN Resolution 181. That's it. These are the only 2 options, and they have to happen because our children and their children are not safe as long as Israel exists in the current form.
Wednesday, where do you get all these conspiracies? Do you watch YouTube or something?
Oh my God, another woman obsessed with me.
What's the conspiracy theory that she mentioned?
No, she's mentioned a couple of them now.
Yeah, which one are you referring to?
I said Iraq, that there was never any weapons of mass destruction.
Let her answer. Give her
Is that a
a chance.
conspiracy
No,
theory?
give her a chance to answer. What conspiracy theories? Go on.
She's saying that Israel is going to go after Egypt and all these other places.
Why is it a
Okay,
conspiracy
They say
theory?
it themselves.
Yeah,
Why is it a
Israel.
conspiracy theory? Tell them.
It's unfounded.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you a video of the former finance minister talking about it publicly?
The literature.
Sorry?
Can you read?
I would rather read the literature.
You could see the guy actually saying it, but yeah, there is literature about
But
it.
you know, AI nowadays, I don't know what to trust. I
That's not
I
AI.
prefer something that's pen and paper.
Okay, pen and paper. You can read about scripture saying they're coming after Damascus
Real
next.
type stuff on a computer, because AI can also write stuff on computers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But I appreciate that.
Yeah, Israel has never denied this, by the way. This is why Israel does not define its borders. Because it's an expansionist power.
So, is this like an Israel hate space or something?
No, it's a realistic space.
Okay.
Yeah. Does Israel define its borders?
I would think it does. Yeah, it's on the map.
Find it for me. Find me where the Israeli state has defined its borders.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I love the confidence.
We're going to get somewhere now.
I love it.
It absolutely is a Israeli hate space.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We can hate Israel.
And here, and Wednesday.
Oh my God!
I mean, if Israel did expand, do you really think that would be a bad idea?
Yes, I think it would be a very bad idea.
If you're allowing me, you have something to say. If you allow
Why would
me,
that be a bad idea? Haven't they been pretty successful as a nation in a very short period of time?
So I think it's sister. No, wait, hold on. So I think
She's trolling. She's trolling.
Wait.
She's a troll, man.
I
Just
think
calm down.
Yeah.
Brother, she's troll. I
That's
want to pass the
fine.
mic to new people. We got Lonzo. We got
Let me just say one thing to her.
Bro, forget
take
about her,
it-
man. She's a troll.
Just one thing, bro.
Troll. Let it talk.
So I take it you have Googled whether or not Israel defines its borders. You came up with no, Israel does not define its borders, and then you came back for another stupid comment. So I think you learned something new today. Israel does not define its borders because it's an expansionist power. And now you've come back saying, oh, would it be so bad if Israel expands?
So what if it does?
Okay, James. Lonzo, go ahead,
We
Lonzo.
live in a fucking colonized country, bro.
Sarah, do you want to come on up? Let's talk to Sarah about it. Let's see what she has to say.
We keep fucking
Come on up, Sarah.
No, leave Sarah.
Anyways, anybody else want to chime in?
Lonzo, open his mic.
Oh, yeah.
Can we let Lonzo speak, please?
Why do you want that terroristic flag?
James, just mute up. Thank you. Go on, Lonzo. How you doing? Lonzo, we can't hear you, brother.
So Lonzo has nothing to say.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Lonzo, we can't hear you, Lonzo. Okay. Can you try again, Lonzo?
Sarah, earlier today somebody told me we're making a comment about Hamas and ISIS and anti-Semite. I think the anti-Semite, the only people that can call you anti-Semite is you gotta be Jewish. You can't just go around and pass this word around, anti-Semite. Second, Netanyahu did fund Hamas. Third, recently Netanyahu just gave weapons to freaking ISIS. So you should look into it. If you want the data, I can provide you data on this. This is from the time that we...
Yahoo gave weapons.
Lonzo, do you want to speak? Hold on, James, just stop trolling. Okay. Did you want to speak, Lonzo? Are you back? Or is it?
I never really understood. Why do you have two accounts up there?
It doesn't matter, man.
No, I want to know.
Don't worry about it, James. Don't worry about it. It's not to be bit.
What advantage does it give you?
Let's talk to Michael. What's up, Michael?
What's up, man?
Do you support Israel?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Netanyahu? Was he in the right shooting a rocket into Iran?
No, he's not. He's a radical.
Well, which one is a good candidate to run Israel? Can you give us a name?
What the fuck? Donald Trump's more than
James, mute up, man. Thank you. We're talking to other people, man. Come on, it's not your space. Go on, mute up.
Donald Trump.
Can you please mute up, James?
Donald Trump.
James, can you mute up? James, last warning before moving out.
Way more.
Okay, go on, Michael. What's the best candidate out there? Can you? Come on, Michael, no response.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. Just one sec, sorry.
Are you looking it up? You're asking Google Baba?
Jesus fucking Christ, you boss.
Why are you insulting me?
As it, did you, because you just came up with this. Anyways, Eze, did you want to chime in?
No one wants to chime in, bro.
James, calm down, James.
This guy is so wanted. He wants the attention.
He's attention seeker, man.
He's fucking
You got blue accounts up there.
James, are you okay, bro? You want the attention. What's
You
going on?
host this room 24/7. What the fuck?
Yeah, because there's an ongoing genocide. Genocide hasn't ended yet. This is the
bro. You in your tiny little room is not gonna fucking do
Hey,
shit.
can we donate for you here? Or?
donate, like.
Well, how do you
We
get
send
paid?
the money to
24/7?
Yeah. How much money are you gonna send it? Can you tell? How much can you afford?
No, I'm just asking because like you're here 24/7. So like, do you have a job or?
No, I don't have a job. That's all I do.
No, hey,
That's pretty sick, man. It's a cool gig.
He lives in his mommy's basement.
Oh, you guys
Why are
are
we
really
making
fucking-
personal attacks? Can we stick to the topic?
James Ali John, Ali. James Ali. James actually is an Iranian. He supports IRGC. James,
What the fuck?
James, you know you support IRGC, right? You told me about it a couple days.
Come on, the Muslim community doesn't support
No,
transgenders.
you're not Muslim. You're Catholic.
Of course I'm not Muslim. You are,
Wait,
though.
did you think sister is a transgender woman?
No, I think Amir is a transgender woman named Sarah.
Oh, you're so
Wow.
stupid.
Wednesday, I'm sick of the personal attacks. Honey, you gotta come stronger than that.
I was asking a question because
Israel does define its border where it has peace treaties. I want to say that.
Oh, girl, you just you know.
That's
Took a long enough to use ChatGPT to get the answer.
Yeah, well, I did look it up. I researched instead of talking on the side of my neck like Wednesday.
And what did you
Looking on
find?
conspiracy theories I saw on
And
YouTube.
does it define its borders?
My neck, okay?
And
my
does it define its
parents are
borders?
related, Kuyuk.
Yeah, so it doesn't define its borders. It has armistice lines, which it breaks every now and then. Like it broke with Syria as soon as the Syrian government changed, right? So those aren't borders. So it does not define its borders. Thank you.
How many times did America break its borders with Mexico?
I don't give a shit.
What the fuck? You're living in America.
I'm not living in America.
James, America just goes in there.
Fuck.
I'm not living in America. But wait, hold on. Just because America does something, does that mean it's justified? America nuked Japan. Does that mean Iran can nuke Israel?
You're benefiting. You're benefiting.
I'm Canadian, not American. But regardless, two wrongs don't make a right.
Same shit. But you're benefiting from the colonization. Go back to your home country, bitch.
I would like to, but these Europeans colonized my home country. They bombed the shit out of my country, so I had to come here.
Syria?
Yeah, Syria.
Oh, fuck. No, I hear things are back to normal. Bro, I hear things are... Thank you.
I hear things that are getting better in Iran. Why don't you go back?
No, I don't want to.
Hey, I have a serious
Okay.
guys. I have a serious question. Nobody can answer it for me.
I feel like you're gonna troll.
No, I'm not. Can
I'm in support of...
Hunter, what's your question?
Okay, just go
I'll
ahead.
wait. Listen, I just joined. I'll wait. But like, let me know when I can ask my question. I'll wait for you guys though. Because I just joined.
So
Anticipations, his eyes.
hold on.
Okay. So I'll ask after the first guy.
Yeah, okay. So Iran has fired 25 missiles, right? Now, do you guys think that they will take over Israel? Do you think
Take over, man.
they're gonna-
Chill. Take over. What do you
Did
take over,
they,
man?
did they fire it now? Amir, is it now?
Yeah, it was latest news. It said they shot about 25 rockets earlier today.
Is
So
that the objective? You think...
What they need to do is, give one rocket to each of the West Bank settlements and fucking obliterate.
See, Israel is
They
very...
just fucking keep on going after Tel Aviv.
No, just keep going up the settlements. Just keep blowing up those West Bank settlements. They're illegal anyway, so just keep blowing them up. Fucking get rid of all Zionists.
No,
Yes. They are illegal. They
They're
are
not trying
illegal.
to get rid of all
They're
Zionists.
illegal buildings.
They are illegal though. Those are illegal settlements.
They're
Fuck
illegal.
that.
Just get rid of them.
Burn, baby, burn.
No,
They're
listen, guys.
retaliating.
Hey,
If
can
you
I ask
think-
a question?
The objective here is to take over the region. That's absolutely fucking crazy.
Yo, Sarah, what's your number?
That is crazy.
Are you out of your fucking mind? What a
Nobody
lame
said that was the
strategy.
objective.
Yo, Dr.
Nobody said
Sarah.
that was the objective.
Dr. Sarah, what's your number?
What's whose number? Wednesdays?
Old as gold.
What is the obsession, bro? Like,
I don't know, man.
Cause you're jealous,
What is
bitch.
the obsession? I have no idea. Why are you obsessed with Islam?
Anyway, so the IRGC, right? And
why are
do you
you
guys think? Hold on. Do you guys think that the people have started siding with IRGC, even the ones that were anti-IRGC in Iran? after the attack, after they saw the amount of civilians at the.
Amir, honestly, how do you make your living?
Yeah, Michael, stop trolling. Last one, you put movie down. Thank you.
Oh, you fucking.
Thank you. Thank you. Last one. Thank you.
Can I ask my question? Or?
I think you know Michael. I think Michael's one of your trolls.
Let's give the mic to Just, please.
Yeah, okay,
Go ahead, Just.
I don't want to be rude because I'm new, but like, okay, so I've been doing a lot of research lately, and everybody, listen, we all have to take this thing seriously because World War III can start. But my real question is regarding Netanyahu, right? Does Netanyahu have a Yahoo account or a Gmail?
You're such a stupid corny man.
Was that meant to be fun?
Oh, Netanyahu
I think that was
at That's
really
funny. We needed the comical relief. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
That was such a crack.
And the anticipation for such a brilliant joke. I love it.
Time for NATO to kick the United States out. Quickly, very quickly, NATO needs to kick the United States out.
It's time for all the Jewish women to go back to Israel. Nobody wants to see
Yo, shut up, Cody. Wednesday, shut the fuck up.
West has never been more vulnerable to a terrorist attack than it is currently.
Wednesday, Hawas Wednesday.
Wednesday, how old were you when 9/11 happened?
Cállate la boca, pendeja sucia.
Yeah, you're not in support of your Puerto Rican heritage.
No, it's garbage, baby. Got the hepatitis and every STD there is.
Mama Nyema.
Yeah. I'm sorry that the parents are related.
From what?
It's Mama Yama, not Mama Yama. It's Mama Yama.
Wednesday, I was driving.
Mama Yema Konya.
Okay, guys, can we go get back to the topic, please?
So Wednesday,
James, can you stay muted? Easy, go ahead, Muzi. Easy.
Okay, so first and foremost, Wednesday is definitely my girl. Don't get no big girl. Because when you said her father was her brother too, that shit almost made me have an accident. I swear I was driving. I was like, oh my God, I can't even come on mic. But that was hilarious, number one. Number two, I have a question. I actually watched a video today of Netanyahu literally giving the exact same speech about Iran and the potential for building nukes and decimating the universe. I mean, almost word for word. If somebody had taken the words of that speech and superimposed it over his latest speech, they would almost be identical.
He's been saying this since 1996.
Was from 2012. Well, this one I saw was 2012. He literally had like a picture of a bomb, 3%, 5%. I'm gonna make it my PTR. But that shit was crazy. I said, you know what? Nobody's paying attention on a world stage. Like, either this dude is suffering from early onset dementia, or he knows that we're not listening, that he can run the same rhetoric year after year.
Ezzy, I'm so confused. If your country gets wiped out, who's the exception? If Israel gets wiped out, who's the exception?
I know who sister is. She is a troll.
Who's the exception?
She's a black American woman claiming to be a white woman. Yeah, I know who she is.
Whoever she is. But that's kind of crazy. 2012, the same speech?
Actually, it goes back to what
literally going to become a nuclear threat in minutes, in months.
I think it goes back to even worse. He's obsessed with getting Iran. He's obsessed since 1996 when he started being part of the Knesset.
Since 1980s, actually. The first thing that he...
that far back?
Yeah. The first thing he did when he entered politics was this.
That is insanity.
I am here to say hello to Izzy. How are you?
Stopping a group of people from destroying your country.
James, why can't you stay muted while others are talking?
He has ADHD or some shit like that. Something really wrong with him.
Okay, this guy has been making this claim that Iran is 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear bomb. 3 weeks away. Every year he makes the same statement, and American politicians would believe it. And based on what he says, they've been shouting for the last 20 to 30 years that Iran should be eliminated, Ayatollah Khomeini should be killed, and so on. But I don't know if you guys saw, I saw a small clip on, this guy, comedian, or the talk show host in the US. I think his name is John Waite or something like that.
Not John, he's at the Late Show.
The Late Show, yeah. So in
Yeah,
that,
so I have it. I actually have it, a clip.
you should share it,
It's on TikTok.
So
Let me get it. I'll get it.
Yeah, he showed all the years of Netanyahu saying nuclear weapon is, Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon. Every year, literally every year's clip is shared in that thing. It's very, very, very hilarious.
That is insane. That is insane.
I don't know. How are you, Izzy?
Oh Hashem, thank God.
If you follow the career of Mr. Netanyahu for the since the 80s, like mid-80s till now.
We should make that video.
Sister Edla.
Hey Chucky, we should make that video go viral. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was. You're literally sitting there regurgitating the same crap year after year after year.
Well, those are well-documented things, Izzy. I mean, this guy has been harping about it he stood from the UN saying Iran is 2 weeks away, 2 months away, 1 year away, 1.5 away. If you take Iran and you take Iraq, I guarantee you democracy will flourish in the Middle East. Iran and Iraq and add to that Libya are developing nuclear weapons. I mean, this is part and parcel of the a broad plan for Israel to expand and destroy its neighbor and draw the Americans into all those wars. I don't know how much Americans are aware of the chokehold of the system they have on the on their discourse in the region. But I don't think the American people understand
the last. Sorry, forgive me. The last post that it won't let me put it. Does look like I already put it. I'll send it to you, Ezzy.
Okay. Thank you.
You have TikTok?
I do.
Okay.
I very rarely use it, but I have it.
Jindip, you said
I just wrote a response to Trump's tweet. If you want to hear it.
Yeah, point. Just give me a few seconds. Jindip, you mentioned if American people realize the kind of hold Israel has, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, the choke. It's not a hold; it's a chokehold on.
Yeah.
On the,
so let me quote you. The former admiral, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States. His name is Admiral Thomas Moorer, and he said this in the year, I think, 1990s or so. I have never seen any president of the United States, I don't care who he is, I have never seen any president stand up to the Israelis. Our citizens certainly don't have any idea what's going on. They always get, that is, the Israelis always get what they want. They know what is going on all the time. If the American people understood what a grip Israelis have got on our politicians, they would rise up in arms. This was Admiral Thomas Moorer, M-O-O-R-E-R, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Let me also read you another quote. This is by Miss Ann Lewis. Ann Lewis was the former White House Communications Director for Bill Clinton. And she said it matter-of-factly in a press meet. The primary role of the President of the United States is to support the decisions made in Israel. Let me read it again if it did not, let it sink in. The primary role of the President of the United States is to support the decisions made in Israel. That's it.
But don't the American people, the freedom-loving people of America, don't they perplexing that?
We have no freedom, Ginger. We have no freedom.
Yes, you do. I mean, you love freedom. You
don't have
breathe freedom on a daily basis.
We're gonna have to
But
revolt.
aren't they perplexed by this stuff, or they're just not informed?
No, I think it's
why is it they have such a chokehold on their politicians? I mean, I watch some senators who are they're just like, I don't know, they're like massaging the balls of those Zionists, and they just carry on with their agenda with no shame whatsoever. Is it because of a few dollars they throw their way and they have them elected, or they keep them in office? I don't understand it. It's perplexing. It's
It's not that complicated. It's not that much to understand. Pick a politician and I'll tell you how much funding they get a year from AIPAC. Just pick one. Let's go down the list. It's real simple.
Well, that part I understand, but how? I mean, why would an American politician sell themselves so cheap to serve not the interest of their country, but is it because they make money from arms? Is it? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, it's because they sold out and they don't like Muslims. There you go.
I don't think about this Muslims. I just don't.
No, they don't. Listen,
something else is going on.
I've lived in America for all my life. The way they brainwash us to hate Muslims, it starts very young. Very young.
All right, I have a response to Trump's tweet. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
So, Trump tweeted to the Supreme Leader of Iran. So here's Iran's response from me to Trump. Dear Mr. Trump, thank you for your recent death threats. I don't think they're funny. However, be advised when you say you know where I am. Well, I know where you are, and BB is, and I know where your children are. BB's kids are in Miami, and Trump, you know what's up. Thank you so much for writing to me, you stupid ass Zionist supporter. Okay, and then it ends, the Supreme Leader.
This group is fucking nuts.
That was pretty good. But the sad part is ineffective.
Why is the room speechless, man?
Because I was telling the truth. Oh, and P.S. Trump, the only reason you know where I am, you little bitch, is because of Peter Thiel and Palantir. Same people you use to demolish and kill everyone in Gaza, you bitch-ass motherfucker. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I put all of that in the tweet. Yeah.
So the last two words in the tweet, bitch-ass motherfucker, that's 3 words.
Yo, where's Edward, man? This is insane.
No, what's insane is the leader of the free world writing a tweet to another world leader threatening death, saying, I know where you are, it can kill you any minute. That will go down in history as the #1 support of a Zionist mentality.
Definitely.
Right?
It's an
So
embarrassment.
it's not funny. It's an embarrassment to humanity, let alone to the United States of America.
And him leaving the G7 yesterday was no better.
Well,
I was like, who the fuck does not pay some crazy shit?
I'm crossing the border to Canada. I'm a Sikh amnesty.
Denied.
No, I'm going. Too late. Ooh.
No, don't come here. We have enough immigrants already. We don't need.
I've never heard of a world
No. Stay out of Canada.
Who ever heard of a world leader telling people in another country and the metropolis to evacuate? He's creating a stampede. He's creating hysteria on an international level. Never before
Imagine
heard or seen.
there's 80, more than 80 million people went out and said this guy is okay.
Yeah, but you know what? They did a few polls in different countries, and I think he's at a 70 to 80% disapproval rate.
No, I'm saying
That's correct.
80 million people in America walked to a booth and they said that guy is okay. To lead
Nah, they were
us
stupid.
to the
I
future.
think they were all drunk, though.
No, there was no
They were all sipping Hennessy.
Hold on. You're entitled to your own opinions, but not your own facts.
No way in
There
hell.
was no 80 million.
Did you see him at his little birthday party that nobody showed up to?
Yeah.
That was pathetic.
What do you mean, point? Didn't 80 million people vote him in? More than
Get a
80
pencil
million.
and paper. Here's what I mean. Get a pencil and paper. 31.78% voted for Trump. Write it down. 30.84 voted for Harris. 1.06 voted third party. And 36.32% did not vote because of Gaza.
Okay.
Get it right, motherfucker.
Yeah, I understand, but that 30 something, how many people is that?
Of 330 million. You do the math.
So 30% of the the voting age, let's say
It's
150.
not 80%. It's not 80
What she's
million.
basically saying is that because individuals abstained, it didn't help. And I believe that too. I'm not even gonna
I
lie.
believe it too.
I think
That's
if
the
more
same thing
people
that
get-
happened with
Kamala lost. Yeah, that's why we all know that's why she lost.
Yeah.
Mainstream
I
media
totally
won't
agree
tell
with
you
her.
that. Mainstream media is blown by the Zionists. CNN won't tell you that. Harvard is trying to tell you that. Yale and Princeton, but they're trying to silence them. Why do you think? Oh, because of fucking Columbia. What went down there? Pay attention.
Point.
Don't mention Palestine. We're gonna silence
even
it.
if
We're gonna take your future. We're gonna take your prospects for a job. Oh yeah, they threatened the students. Oh yeah, the Zionists did that. Oh yeah, they did that in your fucking faces. So it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
And what was even more embarrassing is that Colombia has more European Jews in a little bit who have leanings towards Israel, and their children and the students didn't exactly behave in a way that they felt was becoming to their leadership. Yeah. Colombia was definitely an embarrassment to Colombia's. Pretty fucking sick, pretty fucking sad. Actually, we haven't heard very much about Colombia since, have we?
Not a pin drop. Not a motherfucking pin drop. Thank God it's the summer session.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting.
And there's a reason for that. Because the Zionists really control Colombia. You dig in the books, find the endowment, go follow the fucking money, you'll see.
Don't say that. You know what happened to AOC when she said it was all about the Benjamins?
Exactly. She's bought too by AIPAC. Bitch. She's a bitch too. I'm not even gonna do this. I should do this. Maybe I can do this.
AOC is bought and paid.
Yeah, okay, so let's do AOC. If you check her background, I'm not gonna maybe I'll get in trouble for this, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck Amir. So if you check her background, you'll find that she bartended at one time, correct? Yes?
Okay.
Say yes.
Yeah, she was a bartender before she went to Congress.
However, they conveniently left out that she not only bartended, but she danced at the fucking bar that she was in. Because it was a strip club. And guess who knows the owner? Let me close my mic. Fuck you, Amir.
Guess who knows the? Oh, damn.
Who knows the owner?
What?
Trump?
Probably Point.
No, I mean, considering she was in New York, right? Trump was big in New York. Real estate, strip clubs. It could have been anyone, honestly. There's a lot of Jews that work in this industry.
And the craziest part is that so many have hyphenated last names or changed last names. I think unless you yourself are Jewish or been raised around Jewish people, you would never even know that the people are Jewish.
Yeah, like Jack Ruby, who killed Lee Harvey Oswald. His real name was Rubenstein.
You know, I did not know that until recently.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. The Jewish mafia is a thing. You see, mafia, people think Italian right away because of the movies and whatever. But the Jewish mafia was a real thing. That's what started Las Vegas, actually.
You ever seen Peaky Blinders?
No,
I haven't watched it.
It was
Oh, Peaky Blinders is really
You know what was good, and they kind of snuck it in, but didn't really give you too much on it. If you saw Chadwick Boseman's movie, I think it was called The Bankers, and this my grandmother actually attested to, that when black folks were trying to get loans from the banks, they were often denied. But European Jews would act as intercessors, and they would lend black folks the monies, or they would, secure notes for them, and they were later lauded as, friends and allies. It's what from who in real time.
I'll go look it up. He said he had a question. Why are you interrupting?
Yeah. This is related to you. The point, like historically, when empires bankrupt, they throw Jews out, so all their debt disappear. Do you think that these KKK guys, MAGA people, are throwing Jews under bus because they are going bankrupt? Think about it. Right now, if they gather all the Jews and kill them, nobody cares because of anti-Semitic that Jews have created. Do you see any pattern here that like U.S. is going bankrupt and they're kind of, and
what you're describing sounds very, very much like Nazi Germany.
Who was the question for? Who was the question for?
Point. If Trump is Hitler, which is behaving like one, do you think that he is doing this to Jews?
It could be, and I'll tell you why. The Balfour Agreement and the shipping of Jews from Europe to this territory called Israel was an anti-Semitic act. Why? Because they wanted the Jews out of Europe. They were anti-Semitic right there, the Europeans. So they're like, get these motherfuckers out of here. So initially, anti-Semitism started from the writers of the Balfour Agreement, from the people that shipped those people to Israel. That was all anti-Semitic. I don't know if you know that. That was all behind anti-Semitism. I hope I'm not telling you something you're just finding the fuck out. Because you got me fucked up.
If you are a Jew in the United States, be careful who you are trusting. I know you are careful, but be very careful.
And the American economy is upside down. If you saw the reports this morning, retail is down negative 0.9%. I repeat, negative 0. It wasn't even that low during the fucking pandemic. All right? And so Japan has trillions of U.S. bonds, and so does China. So you're correct. America's fearful right now because if China or Japan sells its bonds, it's a wrap. Immediate recession, depression, the whole economy turns upside down because it's already upside down already due to the tariffs. which have not been settled till now, up to now. So yeah, there is some potential in what you're thinking, Wei Fan. But why don't you elaborate more for those that don't have a fucking clue what we're talking about?
ICE is getting militarized. They are going around gathering people, and people are angry because they're gathering Hispanic. If they start gathering Jews, everybody's like, hey, yeah, go ICE. Go ICE. And then they are starting a war in Middle East. Everybody's blaming Jews for that. If they gather Jews, everybody say, oh yeah, kill the motherfuckers. It's not like it hasn't happened before. This exact scenario has happened before. So, and Jews are in charge of banks, and the one that, they are the one who holds a lot of this debt. If you throw them out, a lot of debts disappear. Everybody has
It's possible because the American Federal Reserve, which most Americans don't even understand, is controlled by Zionists. We know this. The Rothschilds, etc., etc., etc. Whole banking industry. So yeah, America's held hostage by that. So I don't know. Seems to be working out just fine for them. Meanwhile, the American populace is fucking clueless. Fucking clueless.
Say that one more time.
Fucking clueless.
All right.
See, who is smarter than Jews? Racists. Racist people are smarter than Jews, so. And they always win, unfortunately.
So do you think Trump is a racist?
No. Trump is my darling. No, he's not racist. He hates actually white people.
Well, I think Trump is going to invade Israel and Iran, take over both, and build hotels all through Iran and Israel. That's what I believe is going to happen. Remember, he said he would just take Gaza. Well, the only way you're going to just take Gaza, motherfucker, you're going to take all of Israel and invade it and say it's an American territory. Then you're going to, but before you do that, you're going to allow Netanyahu to use Palantir and blow away the whole Iranian regime. Oh yeah, that's what Trump said. Trump said he gave it away when he said, oh, something bigger is what he's working on. So he's going to take Israel, he's going to take Iran. That's what I believe.
Point, why do you think the Holocaust really started, and why did Hitler target Jews?
Is that like a serious question? Are you trolling or you don't know the answer?
I'm not trolling, I'm asking you, what do you think is the real reason?
It was the same reason I gave regarding the Balfour Agreement. The Jews were a problem. They were doing economic gains and doing things that just became a problem.
Yeah, that's not why the Balfour Declaration happened.
Excuse me. They were creating a problem to other people, or what people construed as a problem in terms of how they operated, how they did business, etc., right? Good, bad, or ugly. It was a problem. So then they were pushed to the side.
It was more financial than it was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I just said it was financial. I said business, how they did business. All right? Then people became jealous of how they did business. So that's why it became a problem. All right?
Jealous of how they did business?
Oh, God.
Hey, can I let a rabbi answer that question for you?
Go ahead, Rabbi.
Yeah, I'm just going to find it real quick.
I don't even understand the question. You don't know what went down then?
Oh, no. I have a very, very strong idea. I had someone actually tell me, an old German Jewish person tell me that Kristallnacht was more about burning financial books than it was about burning Jewish books.
Of course.
Who knows the first two laws that Hitler implemented? Hitler, Yimach Shemo V'Zichro, first two laws that Hitler implemented that not only
Rabbi Mizrahi.
Not only
no,
put him
Rabbi Yaron,
in a different status than everybody else for the rest of history, but also made what's called world until this day the biggest financial miracle in history. Who knows the first two laws? Before the Nuremberg laws. Before that, we're talking about years before. Hitler first comes into power. What's the first two laws? Okay, I'll save you the time. Rule number 1. No more pornography. No more homosexuality. None of that garbage. Not allowed. Berlin, in the 30s, in the 20s, was the Sodom and Gomorrah of the day. They were the Las Vegas of the day. They were the Sodom and Gomorrah of the day. Homosexuality, pornography, all the bestiality, all the garbage of the world, that was the capital of the world. He outlawed it, and you're no longer allowed, closed all the bars, all the gay clubs, all the production, which were all run by Jewish people. Unfortunately.
Damn.
Second rule. What's the second rule? Second rule was, you're not allowed to charge interest. No more interest. Now you would think, why? What does he care about interest? Well, because all the people that had the money, that lent the money out, were Jews. He didn't like it. You said? Got it?
That's correct. So, that created, that created a lot of jealousy and that's when they began to separate, create ghettos, so on, and then ultimately, after the Holocaust, etc., which all led up to that, and then after that, then it was okay. Let's get rid of these people; they're a problem. And it was other European countries that were in on the plan. It was an anti-Semitic plan, right? So don't be fooled. Read what you read, but think for yourself. Learn to think for yourself.
So how were Jews a part of the Nazi Party initially? How'd that work out?
People are divided. People are easy to influence. And so, I'll give an example. Look at Iran right now. Didn't you see they caught almost 8 Mossad agents, right? Yeah. So that would mean what? That would mean there are many elements within Iran itself that are complicit with Zionists. Don't you get it?
Look at this. These Iranians that right now are gonna regime change, they are Nazis. They are Aryan blood.
Exactly.
Talk to them. When they come to this room, talk to them. They literally believe Arabs are lower race. They are Aryan Nazis.
Wait, say that again. They believe that. Say it again. That Iranians are what?
No, they believe that generally non-Jews are lower than them. That they're the good.
No. I'm not talking about Jews. I'm talking about Iranians, which want to bring Prince of Iran to Iran. Like these Iranians.
Oh yeah, Iranians also think Arabs are lower than them. Yeah.
These Iranians. These
I was told they believe that they're Aryans, like the Nazis.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Well, I mean, look, the term Aryan does come from Iran, like Iran, like that area, but that's not how the Nazis used it. Like the Nazis didn't look at the Persians and say, "Oh, you're our blood brothers." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't.
I've actually read that in a few spots.
I've never read anything like that.
The grandfather of this prince was the grandfather of this prince that wants to go to Iran and free Iranian people. He was the Arab, like the closest friend of Hitler. And now they are like Netanyahu and his grandson are shaking hands. Ask them, really literally ask these Iranians which come here, what do you think about Indians? What do you think about Arabs? They are racist as fuck.
I mean, look, a lot of people are racist. I don't doubt that.
No, these are
this is like Aryan racist.
They are Aryan racist. They are really, really racist. Ask them, and now they are aligned with Jews in Israel. They are
some of them. Don't say all. It's not all of them.
I actually have a question. So if you did a survey in America today to say high school, I don't know, like let's say 18-year-olds or young adults, and you ask them to put Iran on the map, what do you think the percentage of? You can't. Did you say they can't?
I taught middle end. No geography at all. None.
I went to school with Iranians in America. So after the fall of the Shah, So, I know all about Iran and Persia and the Holocaust and 1948 shipment of people to Israel, all of that. So, I don't know what to tell you.
In fact, students in Nigeria.
I'll give you an example. As a 100 years from now, someone's going to do the same thing you're doing right now and say, wait a minute, how could black Americans never have spoke out about Gaza at that time when they fought so hard for the ending of apartheid in South Africa? It makes no sense. And then you'll have to dig deeper 100 years from now to find out that the black voices, the black politicians, were in the back pocket of AIPAC. Who knew?
Well aware of that.
Who fucking knew?
Yeah, no, I knew that.
Well, it's the same way you had Jews associated with the Nazis. So that's to answer your question.
Fucked up shit.
You know about the Lehi, right? How they actually proposed a formal alliance in, I think it was 1943.
Insane. What I read in that book Perfidy is that there were German Jews, secularists, who sold their own Jewish brothers out to the Nazis.
There was that too.
Huh?
Yeah, there was that as well.
But they had an opportunity to get people out and let them come to Israel/Palestine, and they said no. They didn't want a bunch of low-life degenerates. That's a quote.
Actually, that's kind of a myth, by the way. They weren't going to Palestine or Israel. The majority of them. The majority of Jews that left Europe at that point in time went to America, not to Israel.
Well, no, they said that they went to South America, that many of them went to Brazil, and many of them went
Argentina, in South Africa, and but the majority of them did not go to Palestine. The majority of Jews that would end up, doing the Nakba in 48 and establishing the state were already there by the time World War II started.
That's correct.
So when did the most of Jews, and we got to use that term kind of loosely, when did Europeans first start entering into Israel en masse?
So
Was
this
it after
goes
43?
No, this is Tsar time. When Tsar lost to Japanese, they started going after Jews. And this is like before even World War I. So they start migrating.
There was some migration. Yeah, there was some migration. The first Aliyah was in I think it was 1890 something. But the bigger numbers of them were after World War I, so after the Balfour Declaration.
Something about that doesn't jive though, because they were saying that there was already this core group there.
There were aliyahs made during the Ottoman Empire, but the Ottoman Empire also recognized what they were doing. The Zionists lobbied the Ottoman Empire to try to buy Palestine. They refused at first. I mean, they kind of conceded by the end, but they were really against it. They did not like it. They did not want it to happen. They actually offered them Iraq instead. They were like, why don't you just go to Iraq? And they were like, no, we want Palestine. But after the Balfour Declaration and the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, that's when the numbers started ramping up. The Jewish Colonization Association, JCA, which has changed its name but retains the acronym JCA. I forgot what it's called now. It was being funded by the Rothschilds, and there were plenty of people, Jews, that wanted to get out of Russia because of the collapse of the Soviet Union, and Germany and Poland and all of these places. There would have been bigger numbers if the Soviets, after they finally took control and ended the Russian Civil War, they were staunchly anti-Zionist, despite the fact that they were majority Jewish in terms of leadership. but they were anti-Zionist Jews because they wanted to keep the Jews inside of Russia. That's a good thing for them. So, and they had just a general, like, you're not allowed to leave the country policy. So the numbers would have been higher if the Russians collaborated. And that's why you saw, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, a huge number of Russian Jews migrated to Israel in the 1990s.
So that I do remember. Yeah. I remember Nayana. I remember supposedly the Refuseniks, which was also very interesting because most of those individuals proudly, once they got to New York and other places, claimed that they weren't Jewish at all. They were just taking advantage.
That is quite possible.
Of that ticket.
It's quite possible that a lot of the Russian Jews that got out of the Soviet Union weren't actually Jewish.
Yeah, I definitely did see that a lot, especially in New York. And actually, I saw that with the Jews supposedly from the Ukraine.
Same.
But that, they weren't Jewish at all.
But they walk around with the yarmulke and pay
No,
all
they don't.
Jewish.
They walk around with fur coats and benefits, but nope, no Shabbat, no kosher food. I would watch them eat pork.
I used to see them at JFK, man, at Terminal 2. They used to tuck in their payouts. They used to put a baseball cap over there. Yeah. Nah. And they used to tuck in their ZT and go get a cheeseburger at Wendy's.
No, Russians are gangster. When they got here, they were like, fuck Judaism, fuck the bullshit, I don't have anything to do with it. They literally, and that was another thing, most of them weren't even circumcised. Like, they came with flapping foreskins. Like, that's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Sister Isaiah. I got pictures and videos to prove it. I used to see them walk in there. They used to put a baseball cap on, preferably a Yankees hat.
I see them. Those are not Russian Jews. Russian Jews never even put on a kippah.
And it sounded like Russian to me. I know Pliviet is Russian. It's one of them Slavic languages.
Thank you.